Almost every big winner in the McDonald's Monopoly game was picked by the same man, and not one of them won by chance. For years, the rarest game pieces never reached the customer peeling a sticker off a box of fries. They passed first through the hands of a security director named Jerome Jacobson, and from his hands to a small circle of people he chose himself. Federal prosecutors called it one of the strangest fraud cases they had ever assembled. More than 50 defendants. Over $24 million in prizes that were never truly in play. And a game that half the country believed belonged to them. This is what the court record actually shows. The Monopoly promotion was not run by McDonald's itself. It was run by an outside marketing company, and Jacobson was the man they trusted to keep it honest. He was a former police officer. His job was security, to move the rare, top-tier winning pieces from the printer to the packaging plant without a single one going astray. He was the one person in the entire operation who knew where those pieces were at every moment. That was the whole point of him. And that is exactly what he sold. According to the record, by the mid-1990s Jacobson had begun palming the top prizes. He was supposed to seal them into randomly chosen packages under supervision. Instead, the filings describe him swapping the pieces in a bathroom, tucking the winners into an envelope, and walking them out the door. Here is the first thing this case teaches you about people. The most dangerous person in any system is rarely the outsider trying to break in. It is the insider you built the system to trust. Every safeguard around that game assumed the threat would come from outside. The threat was the man holding the keys. At first, the record suggests, it was small. A piece here. A favor there. But fraud is a habit that grows to fit the room you give it, and the sums did not stay small for long. By the government's accounting, the take grew into the tens of millions over the life of the game. Cars. Cash. And the headline million-dollar grand prizes, year after year, quietly steered toward people Jacobson already knew. For most of the promotion's biggest moments in the late 1990s, the winner the public saw celebrating on camera was a plant. A winning ticket is only worth $1 million if someone can walk into a McDonald's, claim it, and pass verification. Jacobson could not do that himself. So he needed people. Faces. Strangers on paper who could stand in front of a camera and say the words, "I won." The record describes how he built a recruiting network. It started close to home, family first, then friends of friends. One central figure was a man named Gennaro Colombo, who had connections of his own and helped widen the circle. The pieces moved outward through quiet introductions, in parking lots, in hotel rooms, in one instance the filings tied to a family funeral. The arrangement was simple. Jacobson handed over a winning piece. The recruit claimed the prize as their own good fortune. And the recruit paid him back, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars up front, sometimes a cut skimmed from the winnings for years. The $1 million grand prize paid out as an annuity, 20 years of checks. Jacobson's cut came out of that stream. Now watch what happens to ordinary people. These were not career criminals. They were relatives, co-workers, acquaintances, people who, when offered a life-changing sum for telling one lie, told it. The scheme worked precisely because greed rarely feels like greed from the inside. It feels like the luck you had finally, rightfully earned. And notice how the lie guarded itself. Every recruit had a reason to stay silent. Confessing meant handing the money back and admitting to fraud. The prize became the padlock on their own mouths. That is how these schemes endure. Everyone on the inside has more to lose from the truth than from the secret. For years it held. Winners beamed in press photos. McDonald's paid out. The commercials rolled, and the public believed that somewhere out there an ordinary person had beaten the odds and had their life changed by a piece of cardboard. Then someone talked. The entire structure came apart because of a single phone call. An anonymous tipster contacted the FBI and said, plainly, that the McDonald's game was rigged from the inside. The Bureau opened an investigation and codenamed it Final Answer. Agents began wiretapping the network, listening as recruits were coached on how to sound like real winners, how to describe the moment they supposedly found the piece, what to say when McDonald's asked how it felt. This is the detail that lingers. To collect the prize, every winner had to perform joy. They had to counterfeit the exact feeling that millions of honest customers were chasing for real. The wiretaps caught people rehearsing a happiness they had not earned, and that, more than the money, is what those recordings preserve. Without that one call, the record suggests it might have run indefinitely. There was no crack in the machinery that would have given it away, no audit, no glitch. The single weak point in the whole scheme was a human being. Someone who finally decided that what they knew was worth saying out loud. In August 2001, the indictments came down. Prosecutors charged Jacobson and a long roster of recruits with conspiracy and mail fraud. Over the life of the case, more than 50 people were charged. The government laid it out cleanly. The top prizes in a national promotion had been funneled through one trusted man for the better part of a decade. Jacobson pleaded guilty. The record shows he was sentenced to just over 3 years in federal prison and ordered to pay millions in restitution. Recruits across the network took their own pleas and their own sentences. The man hired to guarantee the game was fair had personally decided, again and again, who deserved to win it. And McDonald's, which the record treats as a victim, not a conspirator, scrambled to make it right. The company ran a new, fast giveaway, handing out millions to genuinely random customers. They were trying to buy back the one thing the fraud had actually stolen. Not the cash. The belief. Because that is what a game like this really sells. Not fries. Not even a shot at $1 million. It sells the idea that the system is fair, that if you play, you might be the one it chooses. Jacobson did not just steal prizes. He stole the honesty of the thing, quietly, for years, while the country kept peeling stickers and believing in a lottery that no longer existed. There is something almost unbearable in that. Millions of people bought a little more, drove a little farther, played a little longer, chasing a jackpot that had already been handed out in a parking lot to someone's cousin. The hope was real. The game was not. Here is the part that should sit with you. This fraud did not require a criminal mastermind. It required one trusted man, a chain of ordinary people willing to tell a single lie, and a public that wanted so badly to believe in luck that almost no one thought to ask who was actually winning. The answer, it turned out, was always the same handful of names. So ask yourself, honestly. If the odds had finally broken your way, a quiet man, a sealed envelope, a life-changing sum, and one small lie between you and all of it, are you certain you would have handed the piece back? Follow for more.